On the evening of September 12, 1952, the small village of Flatwoods, West Virginia, was changed forever. At about 7:15 that night, brothers Edward and Fred May, along with their friend Tommy Heyer, witnessed a pulsing red light streak across the sky and crash into nearby farmland. The boys ran home to tell Edward and Fred's mother, Kathleen, what they saw. Kathleen agreed to investigate the area with the boys. As a precaution, she phoned family friend and West Virginia National Guardsman Eugene Lemon, who agreed to accompany the group. Lemon arrived shortly with two of his own friends, and the party set off into the woods. Eventually, the group came upon a clearing in the woods and saw something that would change their lives forever. Resting in the middle of the clearing was an egg-shaped craft, eerily glowing a faint red. Surrounding the craft was a pungent green mist, which clung low to the forest floor. Suddenly, the group heard a loud and aggressive hissing coming from somewhere in the canopy. Lemon frantically shone his flashlight through the trees, trying to reveal the source of the terrifying noise. Eventually, the light fell upon a strange shape, and the group was overcome with terror. Before them, levitating in the air, was a creature that would famously become known as the Flatwoods Monster. The creature stood at about 10 feet tall and stared at them with a blood-red face, which was encased by a hood resembling an ace of spades. It was surrounded by a greenish-orange glow and was equipped with claw-like hands. Suddenly, the monster emitted two bright red beams of light from its eyes. Upon setting its sight on the onlookers, it let out another sinister hiss and began to descend downwards towards the group. Overcome by terror, Lemon dropped his flashlight and began to run back towards the edge of the woods. The rest of the group quickly followed. Upon escaping from the woods, Kathleen alerted the authorities. Although the police were skeptical, they could see that clearly something had terrified the witnesses. Additionally, some members of the group were displaying physical symptoms, such as dizziness and nausea. However, upon searching the woods, no trace of the craft, the mist, or the monster were found. Despite this, word of the encounter spread like wildfire, and several truth-seekers ventured into the woods themselves looking for answers. With the exception of some mysterious indents in the ground, no further evidence was discovered. The incident attracted the attention of some national news publications, however, and Kathleen and Lemon were even invited to take part in a televised interview to tell their story. With this increased publicity, more witnesses came forward. Not long before the infamous sighting, Audra Harper and a friend were walking through the woods near her home 5 miles north of Flatwoods when she saw a ball of fire on one of the nearby hills. Initially, Harper dismissed this, but then she heard a movement coming from behind them. The two girls turned to see a tall and shadowy figure watching them from the trees. Terrified, the girls fled the woods. Furthermore, on September 13th, just one day after the famous encounter, George and Edith Snitowski, along with their 18-month-old son, were driving near Strange Creek, which is about 20 miles south of Flatwoods, when their car suddenly died. As George struggled to restart the car, a foul odor filled the air, and the baby began to cry. A bright light suddenly illuminated the rural road, and the Snitowskis saw a 10-foot-tall creature hovering in front of their car. The monster dragged its clawed hand across the hood of the car before drifting off into the woods. As soon as the creature was out of sight, the Snitowskis were able to restart their car, and they sped home. Despite the nationwide attention the Flatwoods Monster received, the creature has never again been sighted since that fateful autumn. Many skeptics claim that the Flatwoods Monster was simply a barn owl that was mistaken for something far more sinister. However, some theorize that the U.S. government may have acted to cover up evidence of the monster. Years after the incident, a National Guard officer named Captain Dale Levitt revealed that his unit had been deployed to the woods immediately after the encounter. Levitt claimed that his group had found metal fragments and an oily residue, which was sent back to Washington for study. Furthermore, the alleged Flatwoods Monster encounter took place at the same time as a mysterious disappearance of a U.S. military interceptor aircraft. Some believe that this disappearance and the encounter may be related. Whether the story of the Flatwoods Monster was simply a misunderstanding, a genuine extraterrestrial encounter, or something else entirely, remains unsolved to this day. However, the legacy of the monster remains. Each year, thousands of curious tourists flock to West Virginia. They scour the treetops and gaze into the night sky, hoping that the creature will return again.